full disclosure, I reached out to Seth January 14th to inquire about parts to getting a bike going, and now he's magically getting one running after several emails I've sent him. Thank you, Seth. First e-bike. Yes, sir. We have the hubless reevo. Alright, so many mixed reviews, so many mixed feelings about this bike. This was a bike that was founded on Kickstart, and by what I've been reading, everybody basically, they got held up on production. They just shipped them out. They didn't do much quality control, and maybe about 5% of the people that got theirs actually got them to work. Unfortunately, this one was the 95% of the people that received theirs, it didn't work. The owner waited a couple months for it, paid almost $5,000 for it. Rode it around maybe 3 times before it gave out on him. So it's a very funny story. I was actually on YouTube watching Seth on Burns Peak, him doing a review on the bike and him tearing the bike down. When he tore this bike down, I had a chance to look at the controller. I'm gonna post a picture right here. So yeah, these pictures that you see right here intrigued me very well. And I got to thinking, I'm like, oh, as long as I have access to a motor and a battery, I can make anything run. If it's meant to run, it'll run. So I instantly got on Marketplace and I started looking. So I came across this bike right here about 4 months ago on OfferUp, I want to say. The gentleman wanted like $2,000 for the bike, and he was very firm. And in my mind, I'm like, damn, I just want to get this bike running, because it'll be a very cool project. It'll be a very cool bike, for one. And then for two, I don't see anybody at all working on these or getting these going. So I'm sure there's a lot of you watching this video that have this same exact bike, either in a garage, storage, or living room, or somewhere, that we're waiting on some light of hope. And I hope I could be that light of hope. So I reached out to him, and he informed me that the bike was not running. It had some issues, but he was very firm on the price. I told him I had an e-bike shop and a YouTube channel, and that I was reading all kind of mixed reviews about the bike, and I wanted to take it on as a project. So I shot my shot. And I asked them, are you willing to drop the bike off and possibly experiment on me trying to get the bike running for you? Mind you, this is a person that paid $5,000 for a bike, that has it up for sale, that didn't get a chance to enjoy it, and here I am, a electrical person that has the anxiety to get it running, that saw a YouTube video of them taking a bike apart, and out of a video of short picture, I took on the decision that I am able to get this bike running, in fact. And I made a commitment to the guy, and I told him, listen, I make you a proposition, nobody's gonna buy a bike that's not running. 2, the price that you're asking would be for a perfectly good running bike. And this is a niche bike. So I shot my shot, And
so join me, guys, as we take this bad boy apart.
When I message you the first
together,
time,
and hopefully we get
when I
this
get
bad
something
boy
in my
running.
head, right? When I get a
So
crazy
let's
idea,
start off by
I like to
taking
just
off
try to go
this,
for it. And then
crank pedal.
well, I don't know why I used time lapse for that. Came off in 2 seconds, but anyhow, we're gonna wrap this up and we're gonna load up and go to the house. So the goal for tonight is to at least access the panel where the electronics are at and see what we're working with. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be the first part of the video. We're gonna start to take her apart. Don't mind the background, we're in the house. Like I said, we're gonna make this in a few parts between the house and the shop. So let's start to take the guts apart and let's see what's behind this bad boy. So the goal is to basically bypass all the factory electronics that have been a pain in the butt with these bikes.
Which moves the
we're gonna
cranks,
see if we're
and the
able
bike
to
runs
hack
away.
into the
Take a
factory.
look at this.
Okay, so you're walking your bike and you kind of jog
again.
across the street a little bit.
And see if we can get this 150 ever built bad boy up in the road. So stay tuned. We're gonna go ahead and try to take this cover off to access the motor. All right, guys, so here we have it. The famous reevo. By what Seth said, this is actually thick. This is not hollow. Look at those welds, though. This cable is already pulled out. All right, let's see what's inside. All right, guys, and just like that, we removed all the bolts, and the one thing holding us back, there was a little C-clamp right there. Just have to remove that very gently. But now we're in, guys. This is the moment that I've been waiting for. Alright, so now, for a fact, this bad boy right here is our phase wires. Great, we needed that. Now, this is our Hall sensors. Cool. So now we got the Hall sensor here. So essentially all we really need to make this bike run is the battery outlet and these two plugs right here. So guess what? This bad boy is about to be running. All right, guys, let's go a little bit more in depth with the electronics on the reevo. At first glance, we're running a Flip Sky controller. Which I'm not surprised, you know, RC car controller. I guess this should be to the communication board. Try to get this out of here.
should start by unplugging it, right? Alright, these are the Hall sensors. Very important for what we need. And let me make sure this bad boy didn't come out. We already ripped 2 of the wires off. Alright, well. That's our Hall sensors right there. We need that. Alright, let's start unplugging. This goes to the USB port on the lid. This is a light intensity sensor. Okay, so we don't need that where we're going. This bad boy, I'm not sure what it goes to. It's probably an LED light. This is coming from, there's a sensor on the other side. We'll figure that one out. This is another communication of some sort. Another one, wow, it's got a lot of communication ports. This one's probably the pedal assist. It's probably the fingerprint, finger scanner probably. Alright. It's got the GPS board over here. We got a battery, I guess, for the GPS, so when the battery dies out, it still could read what the location of the bike is. So it's pretty neat. They really over-engineered this. You got a battery on there? Now we're disconnecting the nuts that hold this motherboard on here. And this is the brains of the whole entire complex operation. So this right here is the brains. I see here we have for GPS. Whoever wrote this program, God knows how much of that startup money went into developing this right here for it to be a total fail. And it's crazy. All this is gonna get replaced by this screen and controller. Alright, now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make the Hall sensor harness into a regular Hall sensor adapter. Alright guys, and just like that we have this beautiful Hall sensor connector made. So now we have to make the phase wires. So I do have a few of these laying around at the shop. So instead of ruining this perfectly crappy flip sky, it smells burnt by the way. We're gonna harvest this from something else at the shop. So stay tuned guys, I'm gonna head over to the shop and get this all soldered out. But honestly, we're basically there. We just have to find the throttle wire from here, adapt that to the controller. We already have the power wire here, and we should be good to go. So stay tuned guys, meet me back at the shop while we get this connector made. And stay tuned guys. It's kind of raining outside, so
we're making this work on the side. All right, guys, we're back. So theoretically, if I plug this up, it should work. So this should be the world's first reevo hubless bike with an aftermarket controller. So let's find this out together. I have not tested this. I've just made the soldering connections to the appropriate wiring, and I've tapped into the factory throttle right here. So this is going to be the world's first test, and we don't have a cover on here, so we can't really get on there. But crossing my fingers, you know, this is the moment we've been waiting for. So theoretically speaking, if I hit the throttle, this should move. Awesome. So good news and bad news. It works, but we got it spinning the wrong way. Let's see if we could do an auto learn on the controller and get that going. So theoretically speaking, if we do an auto learn, this controller, how are you on it? Alright guys, so we've managed to hack the world's first reevo hubless bike. Let's see if we get her together and see what she does. Gizmo built. Alright guys, so here she is, the world's first reevo hubless bike with an aftermarket controller. Battery's kind of dead, but we're going to take it for a first rip, see what she does.
stay tuned for the full review.